Now I go into what I talk about in expansive runic consciousness. Now, there is a basic Platonic runic consciousness, which I will talk about at a later date, but I sat and I asked the Norns about what would be the best runes to show the pain that people are going through when they are moving out of the Platonic dialectic into the Hegelian dialectic. I felt that pain in my body. I put my hand in my rune bag, and this is what I pull out. So this is all divination is. Divination is whatever state of being you're in, your body will be attuned to the runes, the tarot cards, the symbols, and whatever comes out in your divination method. You will pull those things based upon your state of being. Change your state of being, and you change the nature of your readings. Not only that, is change your state of mind, and you change the meanings of the divination. So we know that in tradition, so in the Platonic sense, because their runes were practiced in the Platonic dialectic, but they can be practiced in the Hegelian dialectic because they are containers of consciousness, because they are spirits of sound and sentience. And so these spirits, along with humans, desire to grow in consciousness. So they can move with us into the Hegelian expanded consciousness system. So here we have the rune Perthro. Now, Perthro in the rune poems is the rune that symbolizes the gambling hall where people meet to gamble and recreate. So this is community. This is our community where we gain connection to our sense of safety, a sense of who we are, a sense of identity, as well as soothe our nervous systems and our bodies. And then Uruz is our strength, is our physical prowess, is our connection to our ancestors. And so if you see here, Perthro is upright, so you've got community. So the community's there, but Uruz is murked. Uruz came out upside down. So I take that as a murk stave. Some people don't do that. And that's another thing is with Hegelian consciousness. It is fine about what you do, but you can learn a lot from what other people do. And if you want to integrate what other people do, you can take it or leave it as you see fit. But it will expand you if you integrate other people's practices. And unfortunately, due to a lot of the social structures of our spiritual groups, you get certain teachers and people who are published and who are leaders in the community. It's really their way or the highway. And if you do not do what they do, they often either ignore you or they shame you and your practice, and then nobody is expanded. So this is a problem. It is a big problem, especially in the heathen community. The Platonic dialectic and the usage of Platonic dialectic, especially in the heathen community, contributes to all manners of colonialism, racism, sort of ideology, and also just really ignorant thinking. And this is why there are no new magics coming out. Everybody's looking backwards because they're using the Platonic method to look into the methods of their ancestors, which is not a bad thing. But if that is the only thing you do, then you are not expanding your consciousness and your magic isn't growing and adapting to an ever-changing world. So here is Uruz the Merc Stave. And so that means that there is an inability to find strength. And that is, this indicates that when you adopt the Hegelian dialectic in the current system, you are not able to find strength and community. There is no connection between the two. And that is really hard because that can do a lot of things to people's mental health. Especially if you're trying to build empathy, it's going to make you feel, number one, very depressed, very nihilistic, very hopeless. And I wanted to do this video utilizing runes and the magic of them, because they're not just spirits, they're sounds. We say Pertro is the p, Peorth. That's that P sound that you say in purple and pink and purpose. That is laced with the energy of Pertro. And Uruz is in urgent, or it's the U sound. And the seed sounds are connected to the spirits of the rune, and they are summoned. Once you connect your consciousness to runes, you summon them through the words that you say every day. And I usually give it, when I have a conversation with somebody, if I want to understand them and say the exact right words that they need to hear, I will either Galder the whole Futhark right before I talk to them and think of them, because whatever you Galder at, you are able to understand on a very deeper, more psychic way. But I also know that if I just have a chance to have a conversation with them, in about 10 to 15 minutes, I've said enough words to intone all of the sounds of the 24 Futhark so that they are active in the conversation, and I am able to give the person the answer they're looking for. So that is a way in which runic consciousness emanates in our life. And I know that sounds really magical to some people. So if people are coming to see this because they really like philosophy, I am sorry. I am also a metaphysician and a magician and a witch. So I am a jack of all trades, a true Renaissance woman, so to speak. And but I want to say that when you choose to adopt the Hegelian dialectic, you are going to be ostracized from the rest of society, because if you don't step in line and bow to the ruling, whoever is the dominant thought police in that community, because there's always a dominant leader in any sort of Platonic community. So if you are not compliant to the dominant thought leader, then you will be ostracized. People will not check up on you. They will not take care of you. They will not care about your opinions. And you will probably be made fun of behind your back, because it will be a bonding thing for the people in the Platonic dialectic to make themselves feel good and better, because you're actually smarter than them. They need to bond to be negative about you. Now, here's the crux. If you're expanding your consciousness, you will be able to feel and hear the words they are saying in their mind about you and to each other. You will be able to feel the negativity and how much they make fun of you. And so what I want to encourage you to do in this situation is to not take it personally, to know that they are just reacting in ignorance based upon your expanded consciousness. You are scaring them, and they, like herd animals, are trying to bond and create a tighter unit to protect themselves from you. So the more you try to chase them down and convince them that you should be a member of their community, the more they're going to tighten ranks, and the more they will be abusive to you. The best thing you could do is find people who have expanded consciousness like you, because then you're going to switch that uruz around, and you will gain strength and vitality and the wisdom of your ancestors by interacting with the people who think like you. So here's the situation, and I wanted to use runes to explain this, because they're very powerful tools of communication. And for those of you who do magic, here you go. Here is the seed of a spell to help you out. So good luck, everybody, and take care of yourselves. I know it's a tough journey, but we can all do this.